Today I am bringing you my June TBR, which once again is being chosen by my TBR game. So if you're new to my channel, this is my TBR game that I sometimes play to help me decide what to read. Sometimes I don't need any help, sometimes I know exactly what I want to read in a month, and sometimes I struggle, and June is a month of struggling, not just with my reading. I am already feeling a little bit overwhelmed with how much I have planned for June. I'm actually going away this weekend to Hay-on-Wye, which is a book town in Wales for anyone who doesn't know, and every year they host a Hay Festival, which is a bookish festival. That's this weekend, and then later in June is my partner's birthday and we're going away for a few days to Newcastle, stopping off in York on the way. So lots of travelling in June, which is exciting. It's overwhelming, but it's exciting, and I'm hoping that I can create a TBR that is also equally as exciting. So we're going to kick things off with rule number 1, and then yeah, we're going to find out what I'm going to be reading in June. Okay, so for rule number 1 we've landed on a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is other. Rule number 1 landed on other, which means I need to read a book that is not a thriller, fantasy or romance. Basically it's not a genre that's already on the board, and for this I've gone with Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, which I think is being categorised as general literary fiction, but it does have a historical setting. It's Taylor Jenkins Reid's most recent release. It comes out at the start of June, and I intend on reading it as soon as it comes out because this is one of my most anticipated books of the year. I believe this is set in the 80s, and it follows a woman who is one of the first women who are allowed onto the space shuttle program. As with all of Taylor Jenkins Reid's books, I'm expecting it to be intense and emotional, and I'm expecting to feel things about these characters. So very excited to be picking this up in June. I do have plans to make a video where I rank all of Taylor Jenkins Reid's books. I think the last book she released was Carrie Soto Is Back, and that came out a while ago now, so it's been a long time coming. I'm excited to see what I think of this. Rule number 2 is a 3. 1, 2, 3, which is romance. Rule number 2 landed on romance, and for this I decided to add Deep End by Ali Hazelwood to the TBR because this is another of my anticipated releases for 2025. It's been out a few months and I still haven't read it yet. I'm also nervous about this one because it's been out for a few months. I've heard quite a lot of reviews and the reviews seem really conflicting. I've heard some people say that this is too smutty, and I've heard some people say that it's not smutty enough. So I don't know what I'm going to make of this. I have enjoyed some of Ali Hazelwood's books. I love Theoretically and The Love Hypothesis, but Love on the Brain and Not in Love wasn't the biggest fan of, so this could go either way, but I'm excited to read it. I feel like because it's been out a few months, my expectations are at a reasonable level. I believe this is a college romance, and it follows a main character who's a competitive diver, and the love interest is a swimmer. However, he is also the ex of the main character's best friend, but the best friend encourages them to get together. Really excited to see what I think of this because I've given Ali Hazelwood's books 5 stars in the past, but I've also given some of her books 2 stars. Rule number 3 is a 2. 1, 2, which is other again. Rule number 3 landed on other again, and for this I decided to go with Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, which is a sci-fi thriller. I've already started this. I'm about a third of the way through, and I was interested in this because I know it's been turned into a TV show, which intrigued me, and also I've been wanting to explore more sci-fi thrillers. I like thrillers, I like sci-fi, so putting the two together I think is like a good match for me. This has been very action-packed and adrenaline-fueled so far. We're following this guy who something traumatic happens to him in the beginning of the book. I don't want to say too much even though it's explained in the synopsis because I was not expecting the first chapter in this book. Something happens to him and he wakes up to find that his life has completely changed. His life is no longer his life. He's no longer married and his son doesn't seem to exist. My partner did read this a few years ago, which is why I have a physical copy, and apparently he didn't love the ending, which has me really intrigued because I think this could go in a few different directions, and I'm very interested to see what direction it goes in. Obviously, just because he didn't like the ending doesn't mean that I'm not going to like the ending. So I'm still keeping an open mind, and if anything, hearing that he liked the book right up until the end has me very, even more intrigued. Rule number 4 is a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is challenge. And the challenge, oh, okay, friend pick. Roll number 4 landed on challenge, and the challenge was friend pick. So ask a friend to choose a book from my TBR. I didn't have time to do this, so I've come up with an alternative. I've gone back to a video that I made at the start of this year where I went through my entire own TBR and I randomized the comments on that video. Thankfully, it gave me a book that I haven't read yet. So Abby's comment was the comment that came up, and the book that she mentioned was Chengang All Stars by Nana Kwame Adehi Brenya. I don't think that Abby has read this, or she hadn't at the time, but she mentioned it was a book that she was interested in, and I have also been interested in this for a while. I believe this is literary. It's a literary thriller with commentary on the American prison system. So basically it's set in a dystopian type world where there's this game show or a reality TV show where prisoners have to compete as gladiators in order to earn their freedom. Sounds fascinating, and I've heard really good things, so very curious to see what I make of this. I think we've still got about 2 more rolls to go unless we get a 6 on this roll. We don't. It's a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is romance. Roll number 5 landed on romance again, and for this I'm rolling over a book that was on last month's TBR. In fact, it might have even been on the month before that's TBR as well. I still haven't read Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry, and I need to because I have heard some not great things about this book. I don't think I've heard any positive reviews. I think most of the reviews I've heard have been very middle of the road, so I need to read this to make up my own mind. If you've read this and you loved it, please let me know because I need to get hyped up for it. The main issue that I've heard people talk about is that this isn't really a romance. It's about 2 authors who are competing to tell the life story of this woman who I think is some sort of socialite. Apparently the romance is secondary and the main focus is on this other plot, but I am okay with that. I think if I go in with the expectation that this isn't really a romance, then maybe I'll enjoy it. We'll see. I'm trying to stay positive because the synopsis for this reminds me of The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which is one of my favourite books of all time. This should be a win for me on paper, but we'll see if that actually happens. And then this is the final roll. It's a 1, exactly. So we're almost at the end of this video. There's only 2 other books that I wanted to quickly mention, and they are books that I've already started, but I'm fairly confident that I'm going to be rolling them over into June. I don't think I'm going to finish them within the next few days. The first is House of Chains, which is the 4th book in the Malazan Book of the Fallen series. I am once again going to be filming a spoiler-filled reading vlog for this book, so that will be coming at some point in June. I also earlier today started With a Vengeance by Riley Sager, which is his newest release. It comes out at the start of June. I have an arc through NetGalley, and the stress I went through trying to work out how I was going to read this book, I sent it to my Kindle, which is what I usually do with NetGalley arcs, and the formatting was unreadable. So I've had to borrow my partner's tablet in order to read it through the NetGalley browser, and it was a whole thing. I talk about it in a vlog that's coming up soon. 20% of the way through that and liking the setup so far, so there should be a standalone review for that coming at some point in June as well. Otherwise, that brings me to the end of this video, so thank you for watching if you made it this far. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of the books that I've talked about in this vlog, and not vlog, in this TBR video. Let me know any books that you're excited to read in June, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Click subscribe if you would like to see more videos from me, but otherwise I will see you next time. Bye.